Hey guys, today I'm playing all on my own, so I decided I'd play a little bit of Tracer because she's probably my favourite hero to play in Overwatch because she's such a good harasser and she's so underestimated in her abilities. She seems like she's not doing much for the team, but if you play her right, you can be probably the best asset to your team. So her abilities, with her shift ability, she can blink forward, left, right or back. She can blink in any direction, which is useful for getting out of the way or closing the gap or pretty much anything you can think to use with it. So she can obviously clear ledges, she can go over gaps if she needs to, and you can get into some unusual spots if you find the right areas to blink from and to blink to. And her E ability will go back in time a few seconds, regaining any health that you lost in that time. So if you take damage and you press E, you'll be back to full health as long as you don't die, of course. And her ultimate ability is a pulse bomb, which does a massive amount of damage, but it is a very short range and you can't throw it very far, so it does take a little bit of getting used to and a little bit of luck to land it perfectly. And you'll notice that I'm playing Tracer on defense here, which is something that a lot of people hesitate to do because they see Tracer as a very offensive character and they see her as more of an attacking side. But in my personal opinion, I think she's best on defense because of how well she can distract the enemy team. So you can see here I'm just pounding Reinhardt in the back, which might not look like I'm doing much because I'm not killing him, but I'm forcing him to turn around and go for me, which is putting his back to the rest of my team. So he's turning his shield to put one person, so there's 5 people that are hitting him from the other side. So then the Reinhardt's really in a loss because he doesn't know which direction to face. Does he put his back to the Tracer and get killed from behind, or does he put his back to the rest of the team and get killed from behind? It really puts him in a very awkward situation, and you'll find if you do that to Reinhardt, they become very, very aggressive. And when they become very aggressive, they're not doing their job of being a tank. They're not defending the team. They're not defending the objective. They're trying to kill this annoying little Tracer. And you can see the enemy's gonna Tracer, which I'm not too focused on. I focus on her when I see her because obviously I want to take her out. And you can see Reinhardt here being super aggressive, and I tried to rewind out of that, but I didn't quite do it in time. If I reacted quicker, I probably could have got out of that. I would have been back on the ledge, and it would have been hilarious. But unfortunately, I was a bit too slow to react to that. But you can see a death for a Tracer isn't as damaging as it is for any other hero because she can get back to the objective so damn quickly. It really isn't a hassle. And you can see Mei almost blocks me in there, and I'm just going around. I'm not going through the front line. I mean, the Mei's seen me, but I take her out here, so it's not a big deal. And I also make her waste her ultimate, which is great because she could have used that to such great extent. And I stick the Reinhardt here and I take out, I believe, the Mercy and the Reinhardt. Yeah, the Mercy and the Reinhardt go down there with my pulse bomb. So you can see it does a massive amount of damage, but you really have to stick it for it to do anything because the range is so small. And now I'm in a bad spot here. I need to be on the other side of the objective, but the soldier is doing a pretty good job of holding me back. Because at this point in this map, there's not much opportunities to get behind them without them just shredding through you. Because you'll notice Tracer only has 150 health, so she's not the tankiest hero in the game. She might be able to hold her own with the rewinds and the blinks, but if she gets hit by a lucky headshot, which you'll see later on by the Mei, she can die instantly, or she can die very, very quickly before you even have a chance to react. And you'll notice that I'm also focusing on the Mercy every time I see her, because Mercy can't do much against the Tracer. She can kill a Tracer with a pistol, but a lot of Mercies are obviously focusing on being supportive. They're not focusing on being a damage dealer. So, and you can see there the Mei gets a very, very nice lucky headshot on me and just takes me down from full health to 0 with a nice cheeky headshot. But the Mercy is obviously focused on healing. They don't focus on trying to kill you, and we do end up losing the objective there. But what can you do? They had a very good push. They had a very good team composition. So there wasn't really much that could be done to save that. I mean, if I blinked a little bit earlier to the objective, I probably would have saved it. But moving on to the next match, this is also a defense because, like I say, I think Tracer's pretty good on defense. Now, King's Row specifically, which is the map that we're on, I don't think is particularly good for Tracer, but you can fit Tracer into pretty much any situation, and that's what makes her really good. It makes her really effective. It doesn't really matter what map it is or what side you're on, if you're on the attacking side or the defensive side. She fits into pretty much any situation. And a lot of people are under the impression that you need to be a really good FPS player to play Tracer, but I personally don't think this is the case. I think Tracer is, I wouldn't say easy to play, but she's definitely not difficult to play. As long as you know where the health packs are, and as long as you know what different heroes do what, and which ones you can safely engage and which ones you can't safely engage, I think you'll do perfectly fine. The biggest thing is just knowing where the health packs are, and knowing where the flanking points are, knowing how to get behind the enemy. And as long as you can hit the target, it really doesn't matter if you kill them. And in some certain cases, it's actually better just to hit them and just distract them than it is to outright kill them, because if you can distract them for the entire match, then it doesn't really make a difference if you kill them or not. The only real thing is just keeping them focused on you, because Tracer, regardless of her low health, she is really hard to deal with. She's really hard to counter. You have to be pretty good at countering a Tracer, because she's just so slippery and she just gets all over the place, and unless you get a really lucky headshot on her, then she's probably going to get out of the situation, and she can outrun pretty much anything. Now you see Roadhog just hooked me and takes me out there, and that's one of probably the best way to counter a Tracer. If you can hook them, then there is very little that Tracer can do to save herself, unless the Roadhog doesn't fire straight away. If the Roadhog fires as soon as he's finished hooking you, then you are straight up dead. There's no way out of it. So you see, I'm focusing on the Roadhog, because even though he's the biggest threat, he's also quite easy to kill as Tracer. It's quite easy to land headshots on the Roadhog, and it's really easy. But you see, he takes me out again with his ultimate. But fortunately, I do get revived, so it's not a massive deal. And I tried to kill our friendly D.Va there, because I'm a little bit lost after a revive. And I fail to stick the Roadhog, but I do manage to kill, I believe, the McCree, or I get an assist on the McCree. And you can see again, I'm flanking around. That's their spawn right there on the left, and I'm just staying back here and keeping their attention, keeping them off the payload, keeping their focus on me. And you can see I've succeeded with the Reaper. I've got the Reaper focused on me. The Reaper's not happy. He's trying to take me out. But I'm just coming back around again and just being really annoying, because that's what Tracer does best. She's just really annoying. You can see the Roadhog, he's got his eyes on me. I think he was trying to line up a hook, so I pulled back to safety. And he's definitely focused on me. He's definitely coming after me. He doesn't like me. He's not happy. He knows that he is the counter to me, and he knows that with the enemy's team composition, he's got the best chance, and the McCree also has a pretty good chance. You see the McCree flashbang me there, but he didn't manage to land his Fan of the Hammer on me, which was fortunate in my end, because that also would rip through me straight away. There'd be no way out of that. But again, I'm behind them, taking out the D.Va, or at least the mech suit, but then the Widowmaker just sprays me down with her sniper assault rifle, glorified assault rifle, whatever you want to call it. But as I said before, it's not really that difficult to get back to the objective with Tracer. There's not much downtime with Tracer, with the way she can rewind to get health back, and how mobile she is. She can really get health back, and with how low her health is and how slippery she is, every health pack is beneficial to her, even the small health packs. So that's why it's really crucial to know where the where all the health packs are, because you won't always be able to rewind to get your health back. There'll be times where you take a little bit of damage, and you can see I'm just keeping the McCree and the soldier busy here, and I do manage to get the pulse bomb on the soldier, which is a little bit overkill, but he probably would have killed me if I didn't use it. And there's no point saving ultimates. This is something that a lot of people seem to think that they should do. They think they should save their ultimates for that perfect quad kill or that perfect pentakill, but really in the long run it's not worth it. You can see it's already at 30%, so it doesn't take long to get it back. It's not a biggie, especially if you're hitting people, and especially if you're going for tanks, you'll get your pulse bomb back within no time. And it's always best to just use it when you can, use it when you see an opportunity, and just even if that means just taking out one soldier with it, go ahead and use it. So I think one of the biggest challenges with Tracer is trying to learn, one, how far the blink goes, and getting to the point where you know exactly where it goes, so you don't have to, you know, trial and error. You know exactly where you're going to be when you blink. And the more important one is knowing how far back you're going to go with the rewind. So when you play Tracer, you almost have to think one step ahead. You have to be constantly thinking, where was I 3 seconds ago or 5 seconds ago, however long it is. I don't actually know how long it is. I should probably have thought that through, but knowing exactly where it's going to take you is important. And on that rewind, also what's important is staying mobile. Don't stay in one spot, don't side strafe in one spot, constantly move around the map, so that when you do use your rewind, it's going to take you to a different location. There's nothing worse than rewinding and just being exactly in the same spot that you was before and getting taken out by whatever you was trying to get away from. And you can see I completely messed that up. I went for the stick and I was completely oblivious to the D.Va's ultimate that just took me out and took the rest of the team out. But not to worry, we'll be straight back to the point. And at this point in the map, it's really easy to defend this point in the map in King's Row. It's why it's probably one of my least favourite maps, because there is very little the attacking team can do at this point, because the whole of this bar is just a choke point. But equally, there's little that a Tracer can do, because Tracer, she needs a lot of room to work with. She can do work here, as you can see. I've managed to get through, so I'm behind them and behind the choke point. I'm in this 3 point, and I'm just dragging them back out of the choke point so that they're not on the objective, because obviously that's what I want to do. I've got the Roadhog's attention. He's chasing me somewhere through the alleyways. He doesn't know where I am. He's having a good scan for me, but it keeps him off the objective, which someone like Roadhog is really beneficial. And you can see the Hanzo just popped his ultimate. I tried to take him out, but wasn't quite accurate enough, so I came back with my little rewind, put a bit more damage into him. And you can see I've got 3 or 4 of them on me now, and the focus, and the Roadhog finally finds me. He's had a good look around. He came back to the objective and he saw me and managed to take me out with his shotgun, which is unfortunate, but those things happen, especially with Roadhog. I mean, if you're going to play as Tracer, expect to be killed by Roadhog and McCree quite often, because they're probably the 2 biggest counters to a Tracer. But with McCree, it's a bit of a double-sided one, because Tracer also kind of counters McCree. It really depends on whether the McCree is able to land that flashbang on you or not. If he does land the flashbang, and if he can aim, then he's going to have no challenge taking out a Tracer. But equally, if a Tracer's really accurate and lands headshots before the McCree can actually get off the flashbang, then the Tracer will just rip through the McCree equally. You can see they've got a D.Va there, and I tried to take her out so that she wouldn't get back into her mech suit, but that Roadhog was a little bit too close for comfort, and I tried to hide from that soldier's see you in the sights thing, but I didn't manage to get around the corner in time. I think he saw I was on really low health, so he had a little poke around the corner to finish me off, and the objective is super close here, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can to keep them off it. But unfortunately, again, we do get defeated. We are unable to defend it, which also unfortunate, but these things happen in Overwatch. You're not always going to get the victory. And the McCree is going to get the play of the game here, so let's have a look at this play of the game. It's probably the Deadeye.